Okay, so it kind of dawned to me that we have not covered any absolute Batman at all. Like, we covered absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Superman. I told you guys that I am technically in love with the whole idea of the absolute universe being kind of like the ultimate universe for DC Comics. And I want to cover every single piece of the absolute DC universe. But we didn't cover absolute Batman. So what I want to do in today's video is cover just the first issue of Absolute Batman, and then later on we'll cover issue 2 along with issue number 3 when it comes out in December. But guys, let me tell you, just like Absolute Superman, just like Absolute Wonder Woman, can I say I truly love Absolute Batman? This is amazing. Now, the first page of this book kind of gives the hint that the origin of Bruce Wayne in this reality is going to be completely different from the main DC universe. And really, when it comes to the absolute universe with Superman and Wonder Woman, we already saw in those two books that their origins are completely different from their main DC universe counterparts. And so for Batman, it's going to be the same thing. We get a small flashback of him being a young boy and his father saying, "Hey, son, come here. Let's go right now." But now we transition back over to the present day. Now, when we do, we pick up with Alfred arriving back to Gotham after being gone for a good period of time. Now, we are being told that for Alfred, he's doing some kind of mercenary work or possibly working for a secret government force. Either way, for Alfred, it's him coming back to Gotham, but he realized that something has changed with Gotham, that originally it was a town that has a heart. Yes, the town has gotten bigger. It did add taller buildings. It got prettier, but Gotham has lost its heart. Now, is Alfred kind of telling us that in the possibility that maybe something came to Gotham and made Gotham darker, scarier, and a whole lot more corrupt? But either way, he came there to do something in Gotham, some very horrible things. Now, I should also mention that we do learn a tad bit about Julia Pennyworth, the daughter of Alfred, in this reality. Now, we don't get to see her, but we do see him try to call her, and apparently she never answers the phone when he calls her. Now, here's the thing. In the main DC universe, when it came to Alfred and Julia, they were not on good terms because for Alfred, he left her and her mom behind to go work for the Waynes. And so once she was an adult and found her father, she basically expressed why she was very angry with her father. Now, over time, they were able to rebuild their relationship to a certain point. But in this reality, it kind of seems like no. They're at the point where they are no longer talking to one another at all. But now we get the chance to learn why Alfred is here in Gotham City. We do learn that he was assigned to come to Gotham because, well, he does work with some kind of secret government force. But there's a new gang in Gotham City called the Party Animals. Now, the Party Animals are going to be very important for this story arc. But the Party Animals are a gang that came into Gotham and apparently had raised the crime rate 700%. Which is pretty wild, but apparently Gotham was a very good town before they had arrived. Now, we do learn that for Alfred, he was doing a different assignment, but he was pulled from that assignment to come over here to Gotham to basically gather intel on the Party Animals. Now, his last target is also going to be very important for later books down the road, but for right now, is him realizing that he's only here to gather intel on the Party Animals. Now we have to jump over to a different part of Gotham where we do pick up at Croc's Gym. Now, of course, you already know that this is a hint that Croc's Gym is owned by this reality's version of Killer Croc. But at first, we get our first look of Bruce Wayne as an adult. Now, this man is massive. I'm all like, dude, you are on something to get that massive because he is just huge. And matter of fact, while you have Bruce working out in this gym, it leads into a flashback where we're able to learn a tad bit more about this Bruce Wayne. And so with this flashback, we get the chance to learn that When Bruce was young, he was in class, his father's class, because in this reality, Thomas Wayne was a teacher. And that for me is kind of like cool, a different kind of occupation for Thomas Wayne in a different reality besides always being just some kind of doctor or running for mayor. Now, we do see that you have Thomas Wayne trying to question his class, including his son, Bruce. But while you have the kids enjoying the field trip, we hear gunshots. But unfortunately, before we're able to see what exactly happened to Thomas Wayne or the other kids in that class, we jump back to the present day and we see Bruce Wayne destroying some gym equipment that belonged to Waylon, the gym owner. Now, Waylon is this reality's version of Killer Croc. But here's the catch. You see, for Waylon, he looks pretty normal, your average guy. Now, I say average guy because the way he looks, but the dude does have a pet crocodile. Either way, we do learn that for Waylon and Bruce, they were childhood friends. And matter of fact, for Bruce, he had a lot of friends growing up. But apparently, he's no longer seeing them like he used to back in the day. And so for Waylon, it's kind of like, hey, Bruce, we have not seen you at poker night in a very long time. Why don't you come by tonight to hang out with us again? But for Bruce, he's not trying to. Now, we also learned that apparently one of their old friends growing up was Celine, kind of hinting at the idea of Catwoman in this reality. But either way, you do have Bruce leave the gym. But now it's time for us to jump over to the actual leader of the party animals, and that would be Black Mask. Except in this reality, he's not going by that name. Really, he's going by his real name, Roman Sionis. Now, when it comes to Roman, he's kind of like having a good old time on his yacht, but apparently he has some visitors. And that be the two biggest gang leaders of Gotham City, Maroni and Falcone. Now, the only reason why they came to his yacht is to ask him to leave Gotham because they hate the way he works in their city. This man has an entire gang right now just going around killing off random people for no actual good reason. Really, it's only good to cause chaos across the entire city. And so they're telling him, you gotta leave right now, man. Get the heck out of our city. But for Roman, he hates the idea of being told what to do. And so you have Roman show off his death mask. Now, the first few death masks are really different people who had died in the past in the history of this reality. You know, he was able to use different kind of products to make their faces and put their faces in some kind of cases. But the last two death masks are people who had died recently. Two people who are close to the two big gang leaders in this meeting. And they realized that their brother or their top soldier had just been killed off by Roman. And before they're able to do anything at all, they're killed off as well. And so just like that, there goes the top two gang leaders of Gotham City. But with the city just going crazy left and right, it leads into Bruce Wayne kind of telling us, the readers, that it's time for him to finally make his move in Gotham City to show the city does have a protector. And that protector is going to be him, the Batman. But now we have to jump over to City Hall. And when we do, we pick up with Jim Gordon. Now, in this reality, Jim is the mayor of Gotham City. But the problem is right now, he was only elected mayor because his great work as a commissioner of the police department. But with the party animals being out there and just causing havoc all over the place, right now you have the people of Gotham kind of regretting the idea of making him the mayor of Gotham City. They're kind of like, dude, we want answers. What are you going to do to the party animals who are killing off people left and right and across this entire city? Now, while you have Mayor Gordon trying to give out a speech, you have different members of the party animals walking up the steps of City Hall. Now, Alfred is nearby, but Alfred cannot get involved because remember, Alfred was only told to just observe, to collect intel on the party animals, and that is it. That means if things pop off, if the mayor gets shot, he cannot step in at all. And really, things go off just like that because out of nowhere, you have those different members of the party animals just barge themselves into City Hall and begin to shoot up the place. And one of their bullets, it does hit Commissioner, sorry again, Mayor Gordon. And so we're kind of left to believe in the possibility that now he's down for the count. Now, with that being said, we also kind of find out one of the officers who were there is his daughter. It's Barbara Gordon, and we only see her for a brief moment. But then we see the Batman has arrived, and he grabbed a few members of the party animals that went into City Hall and took them back outside. And you have Batman say, keep the doors closed and do not even open the doors until you know it is actually safe and clear. Now, for Alfred, he saw Batman arrive, and it kind of seems like him and his agency were kind of expecting to see Batman here trying to take care of this kind of situation going on in Gotham City. And so now we get the chance to see Absolute Batman go to work. Now, guys, let me tell you something. This is one heck of a Batman because this man is just cutting off hands and feet left and right. This man is going around and just beating down on every single member of the party animals like it is nothing. And these guys are very confused on what in the world is going on. But that's the thing. It's Batman saying, listen, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to make sure that you are going to regret the idea of being part of this gang. And so you have Absolute Batman just taking down every single member of the gang who's here right now on the steps of City Hall. Now, Alfred, he's just observing, but once the battle is done, you have Alfred actually make a move on Absolute Batman. And really, when I say Alfred does make a move on Batman, I mean like he's holding Batman at gunpoint, but it's Batman kind of like, really? You're going to try to hold me at gunpoint? Nice try. And so you have Batman being able to easily take down Alfred without hurting him and then just leave. Now, we do learn very quickly here that Alfred knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne. And so we have Alfred being the one to kind of give us the origin of this Bruce Wayne in this reality. So, for example, we learn very quickly here that Bruce's mom, Martha, is still alive. Matter of fact, she is a social worker. But on top of that, we also learn that at a young age, Bruce was so smart that basically you had his parents test him out to see how smart he was. He was on the genius level when it came to how smart he truly was, and being able to engineer different kinds of designs that could basically help people in the real world. And so for Alfred, he realized that at a young age, at first, Bruce was happy. He had everything. Now, we also learned that he grew up in Crime Alley. But either way, you have Alfred wonder what happened to Bruce? What changed the man? And so we jump back to a flashback. And so, with the flashback, we do learn that for Bruce Wayne, when he was young at the zoo with his father and the rest of his classmates, there was a shooter. Now, for Thomas Wayne, he was able to push Bruce and the other kids into a safe room to kind of protect them because that shooter was out there trying to kill off people left and right. Unfortunately, Thomas did not go inside the room. And so, unfortunately, he was shot and killed. And that was the moment that led to Bruce becoming the Batman of this reality. Now, we do learn that after Thomas had died, for Bruce Wayne, he was angry at the world, always getting in trouble. But then, for Bruce Wayne, he realized that he has to get his life back together. And so he began to play football, where he was able to gain a scholarship to go play football at university. But then you had Bruce shift his focus to his studies. Now, every single major he studied for was basically him preparing for the day that he'll become Batman, to make sure he's ready to become the hero he wants to be for the city of Gotham. Now, we do learn very quickly here that for Bruce Wayne in this reality, he had taken different kinds of jobs where you're out there in the field doing different kind of things for the city. But for Bruce Wayne, it was a way to map out the city, the way for him to learn every single part of the city so that he'll be ready when the time comes for him to be Batman. It's him making sure that he can be the most perfect hero he can for this city. But for Alfred, he tells us that Bruce does have one weakness, and that one weakness is his mother. And so it does seem like sooner or later, Alfred could try to use the mother of Bruce Wayne as a way to get to Bruce. But for right now, it's kind of like, I'll just back off and try other ways to attack you. Now, for Alfred, he was able to locate the base of Batman. Now, we're going to learn in issue number 2 that technically this is only one of the many bases that Bruce Wayne has across the entire city of Gotham. But for this base, is on top of a building that was not fully constructed yet. And so it's the perfect place to hide. Now, for Alfred, he believes he has Bruce right where he wants him. But you have Bruce kind of like, no, you don't, bro. Matter of fact, I'm out of here. Takes down Alfred, gets onto a motorcycle, and just drives off the building into the night. Now, the last page of this book, we kind of learn who was Alfred's previous target before Batman and the party animals. And we learn that apparently his agency had lost sighting of his last target. But we do learn that his last target was the Joker. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.